torn down right in front of their eyes.
A bridge connecting homes to a main road in Larimer County demolished despite protests from those who live there.
I have not been okay since the first day they told me that they were going to take down the bridge.
Not happy about the mask requirements.
We are a community and we need to stick together.
Parents and kids march in Jefferson County, and private schools now weigh Denver's new vaccine requirements for teachers.
We're trying to make a determination of what we do on our campus to accommodate everybody.
We have some breaking news first at 5. A boil water advisory has been issued for a large portion of Inglewood tonight.
City leaders say E. coli has been found in certain water samples. Now, this applies to everyone living in this red area on this map. As you can see, the area runs along Highway 85, Santa Fe, and along other popular roads like South Broadway, South Logan, and Sheridan. This also includes Swedish Medical Center and the popular water park, Pirates Cove.
Now, E. coli is a dangerous bacteria that can make you very sick, make your pets sick as well. The city says they're working on flushing the water lines and will set up a water distribution center by tomorrow.
And we'll have more updates on that coming up. Coronavirus guidelines are constantly changing. It seems like we're trending backwards here in Colorado.
Now, the state's now requiring anybody who comes into close contact with someone who has tested positive to get a COVID-19 test, and that's regardless of vaccination status. Also, masks are now required for everyone living in a residential care facility and for all staff and visitors.
And cases also continue to go up. Looking into the numbers tonight, we've now jumped up over 1,000 new cases again here in Colorado. Just over 100 more people have been hospitalized, and there have been 9 more outbreaks in our state, and it is not getting any better across the globe. Today, Johns Hopkins University reports more than 200 million coronavirus cases have been reported in the world. The World Health Organization predicted we wouldn't hit that record for at least another week.
And almost 72,000 children in the U.S. tested positive last week, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, and that's up from 39,000 just the week before. But despite the rising cases, some school districts are still leaving it up to the parents to decide whether their kids will wear masks. Today, Cherry Creek School said they strongly encourage students and staff to wear masks inside, but that decision will be made up ultimately by each family. So far, Denver and Westminster, the only district to announce blanket mask mandates. Jefferson County will require masks for those under 12 who don't yet have access to a vaccine. And Jeffco's mask rules aren't sitting well with some parents.
Today, a couple hundred parents and kids protested the mask order outside the Jefferson County Public Health Building.
We sent Denver7's Gary Brode to check it out.
Freedom, not force! Freedom, not force!
We came out to be their voice because they don't have a voice in this.
Freedom, not force!
Moms and dads made their voices heard in Lakewood.
It's what our kids should be doing.
I'm a mom of 3 kids, and I truly believe that masking a child is child abuse.
This large group gathered to show their opposition to Jeffco's new public school mask policy.
Freedom, not force!
Forcing students between 3 and 11 to wear masks at school, while students 12 and up have the option.
Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Having that choice for all students is what rally organizer Beth Parker says she's looking for.
If you think it's safe to send your kids in a mask, then you should absolutely have the right and the ability to do that. But I also think that if you are comfortable sending your kids without a mask, you should have that option as well.
Other Jeffco parents think it should be mandatory, like Catherine Eterno, who spoke to Denver7 earlier this week.
We had heard that there were other parents that were kind of organizing for the opposite, saying that they didn't want any COVID restrictions whatsoever and putting a lot of pressure on kind of public servants.
She started a Facebook advocacy group supporting the school district's decision to follow the Jeffco Health Department's recommendations.
If we don't kind of show that there are a lot of parents that want there to be protections in school, that want to keep their kids safe, then we've kind of given the school board no choice other than to listen to their more vocal constituents.
Eterno was happy with the decision on masks required for younger students, but thought the mandate should cover all ages.
If you were a parent who had kids in both age groups, it would be very concerning.
Jeffco Public Health tells Denver7 they fully respect community members' right to protest, but chose to close the building Wednesday in an abundance of caution. Jefferson County Public Schools did not return our request for comment on the protesting of the new policy. In Lakewood, I'm Gary Brode, Denver7.
And listen, regardless of your child's school mask policy, everybody has to wear one on the bus. This is according to CDC regulations, and this applies to all school buses, both public and privately owned.
Denver Public Schools is one of the strictest districts on masks, requiring them indoors for all faculty and students. Denver's mayor is also requiring all teachers be vaccinated. This includes both public and private schools in Denver. And today we spoke with Denver Academy, a private school just south of Glendale. Their head of school tells us teachers are already on it, with 98% of them already vaccinated. And for the few who are not, Mark TWAROGOWSKI says a decision will be made in a few days.
It's not easy. I mean, it's exhausting keeping track of day to day what's happening, but nothing surprises me anymore. And I think we kind of realized we can handle a lot more than we ever thought we could, and we're going to be fine. We're going to keep going and keep these kids healthy and safe.
TWAROGOWSKI says the biggest issue is that Denver Academy is a K-12 school, so not all students can be vaccinated. But he says the school will just take it day by day.
And the FDA moving quickly to grant full approval to Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. And that approval then could accelerate vaccines for children under 12. Sources tell the Associated Press full approval could happen as soon as Labor Day.
When you have an EUA for the vaccine that then goes to a full approval, that might have an influence on what goes on. We're collecting the data right now for what we need to make that determination.
Meanwhile, the head of the World Health Organization wants countries to stop giving COVID-19 booster shots. They want to make sure first doses are available in developing countries where fewer shots have been given. WHO officials say the science is still unproven about whether giving booster shots is effective in preventing the spread of COVID-19. Also, the state's vaccine call center that is no longer operating 24 hours a day. You can still get help online and how to get information on about the vaccine online. You just have to go to the state's COVID-19 website.
You need to know all the pieces of the puzzle. If you're going to save a species, you can't just focus on one thing that they need.
Making sure unique bees can be studied and thrive for generations.
This is America's first conservation detection dog, Darwin, the bee dog.
How one dog is using his snout to sniff out nests right here in Colorado. Plus, working against the clock. Engineers now speeding to figure out safe solutions to mitigate flooding along I-70.
You guys suck!
And taking control of the flight. An airline standing behind its flight attendants who duct taped a passenger to his seat.
Still some storms over the far eastern plains, but dry weather the west, and that's coming up in our forecast.